What's up, hungry people? It's Saba here, and today we're making apple crumble. Apple crumble is an amazing fall recipe, not only because apples are in season so they're extra delicious, but also because it has brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, all those things that will get your home smelling like fall. This recipe is super simple, it comes together really easily, and it's basically like an apple pie without having to worry about making a crust and doing all that nonsense. Well, I don't want to say nonsense because I do love apple pie, but you know what I'm saying. Way easier, something that you can throw together really quickly that everyone will love. As always, the recipe is going to be in the description box below, but let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're doing is cutting up these apples. Let me be real with you here today. I am making a small batch of this apple crumble. My boyfriend and I do not need a big ass thing of apple crumble in here for us to just keep eating and eating and eating. Since quarantine, we've been eating and eating and eating, and you know what? We're making a small version today. Back to the video. Here we have our apples and a little dish that we're gonna be cooking it in today. First thing we want to do is cut up these apples. They're cleaned. I'm not even gonna be peeling them. We're making this super simple today. So take your knife, cut the cores out of your apples, and try not to be as messy as I am. And then we're just gonna cut this into, I don't know, 1/2-inch chunks, something like this. Throw these into the pan. Keep cutting. I like to use any sort of slightly tart, crisp apple. Doesn't have to be Granny Smith like a lot of recipes say. Ta-da! So now in with our apples, we're gonna add everything else. To here, a splash of vanilla, a sprinkle of salt because everything needs salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon, the juice of 1/2 lemon, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I know some people like to add a lot of sugar into their apple crumbles, but I don't think it should be overly sweet because I really want to taste those apples. Once everything's in there, use a clean hand to mix it all up. You could do this in a separate bowl, but you know, that's another bowl to clean. Once it's all mixed up, we're gonna let it sit there for a couple minutes while we make the crumble. So in this bowl, I have some just regular all-purpose flour. To this, I'm gonna add some oats, a big pinch of salt, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a sprinkle of nutmeg, and I have some chopped walnuts here, the end of a bag. So that's probably about 1/4 cup. Now, I'm just gonna use a fork to mix everything together. To this, I'm gonna pour in some melted butter. And again, mix it around. You might have to get your hands in there to make sure it's really nicely incorporated. What I'm looking for is that it'll hold together if I really squeeze it hard. Onto the top of our crumble goes our crisp. I like to kind of put some big chunks on there, and they'll fall apart. But make sure you get to the edges too. Now this is ready to go into a hot oven. Let's go. So, this is the crumble out of the oven. It smells so good. I love how the crumbs turned out, and you can see that the apples are just kind of bubbling away in there with the brown sugar and the cinnamon. Super excited to get into this. So look at this. That beautiful crumb topping, and I have it in a little bowl here because, you know, like I said, we don't need to be eating too much of this, but you can also see how those apples have cooked down. Let's take a nice big bite. Gotta get some apples and some crumble. I forgot we put walnuts in here. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's so warm and just like the perfect fall flavor. I think the important thing about this is that we didn't add as much sugar as a lot of recipes do add, which makes it so you can really taste the walnuts, you can really taste the apples. It's so amazing. Definitely would recommend you give this a try, especially if you're thinking about apple pie, but you don't want to go through the hassle of making the crust. This is for you. Like I said before, the recipe is going to be in the description box below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and thanks for cooking with me again. Bye.